Hi, this is astrologer DK Brainerd, and I want to talk to you about Saturn today. You're probably saying, ooh, Saturn, the big bad wolf of the zodiac. I'm scared. And we are often scared of Saturn transits. But for the next 3 years, Saturn's going to be in Libra. So from October 29th, 2009 through roughly October of 2012. And I want to tell you a few ways, or show you a few ways that you can maximize the positive effects of that Saturn transit and minimize the negative effects. So it's true, Saturn is the teacher planet, and when Saturn comes to an area of our chart, we tend to experience lessons in that area, sometimes hard lessons. So we associate Saturn with these very negative qualities. But it's important to understand that Saturn is also the archetype of the zodiac and the archetype within our souls that relates to creating long-term stability and creating long-term viability and success in the real world. So Saturn represents the bones, teeth, and skin in the body. And if you think, growing bones and teeth can be very difficult. If you've ever had a child, you know that, or if you can remember being a child. But we're not very viable with no bones or no skin. And that's similar to the way Saturn works. So when we experience negative effects from Saturn, what we're really experiencing is Saturn telling us the structures you've built in this area of your life, or the structures you're building in this area of your life, they aren't strong enough for you. They aren't sound. They aren't viable. And so Saturn comes in and says, I'm going to knock them down, and convince you to rebuild them, because ultimately I want you to be successful over the long term. So let's talk about a couple ways of working with Saturn. You'll notice that I'm wearing my black hat today. That's not just so I look cool, although, you be the judge of that. But black is one of Saturn's colors, and as the depth psychologist James Hillman famously said, more than anything, the gods, or the archetypes within our soul, so Saturn, Jupiter, the sun, moon, etc., the gods want attention. And so one of the ways that we can tune in to Saturn over this 3-year period and maximize some of his benefits is by really paying attention, giving him attention. I'm not suggesting that you go out and get an all-black wardrobe and become, a goth, or act as if you live in Paris or New York City. But if there are times when you're really trying to tune into what is my responsibility and how can I get stronger in this area of my life, saying I'm going to wear black and I'm going to focus on this is a powerful sort of little act of practical magic. Saturn also rules crystals and gemstones, so using a crystal to meditate and help tune in, very powerful way of working with Saturn. Now, the second thing that you're really going to want to know is, where is Saturn affecting me? And there are two places that Saturn does this. The first is in your solar chart. So if we're talking about sun signs, say you're a Leo sun sign, what you're going to want to do is find out where Libra is in your solar chart. So if Leo is your sign, you're going to count Leo, Virgo, Libra. Libra is the third sign from Leo. So during the next 3 years, Saturn's going to be in your third house. In your natal chart, your birth chart, you need to look at your chart and say, where does Libra fall? Which house or houses does it fall in? Now, what's the advantage of knowing that? Well, say you're a Leo, you know over the next 3 years now that Saturn is going to be testing your third house. Well, what's the third house? It's how I think. It's how I speak, how I communicate to other people. Saturn's going to be testing my structures in that area of my life and seeing if my thoughts are really supporting what I want to manifest in life. So going in with that knowledge, rather than feeling like, oh, my thoughts are so depressing, I can't seem to, I want to manifest all these good things, but every time I try, I just fall back into these negative patterns. Saturn totally sucks. Rather than falling into that kind of despair, you realize, oh, what Saturn's doing is making me aware of the negative thoughts that I already have, so that I can correct those and I can start to get the help or develop the practical tools that I can use to help me think good thoughts that are then going to help me manifest the life I want. So I hope this has been a useful intro to Saturn and Libra. I'm going to cover this, of course, in a lot more detail in the weekly horoscopes and my weekly astrological weather report at wordsforthepeople.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.